Hello to all of my BPTV fans, Facebook fans, and YouTube fans. I'm Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. I'm doing my 79th The Talking Machine show, and I have another great guest. Will you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rich Engler.
This is an icon of Pittsburgh, a legendary man. I've followed him for years. I didn't know him, went to concerts, know people that worked for him. I never heard a bad word about him since he started doing this business. So we got to go back. I always ask my guests, where were you born at?
In New Kensington, Pennsylvania.
I know where it's at.
And I lived across the river in Creighton, Pennsylvania.
My dad actually was a referee in Western Pennsylvania, so I actually know about some of the towns around New Ken.
Yeah, New Ken,
He
Creighton,
did high school games.
Trentham, Springdale. They were
Yeah,
left and
that
right
whole
of
little
Creighton.
group, yes.
And Creighton was a mill town because of Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company and some of the other foundries in the area.
Right. And so where did you go to school then?
At East Deer. There was East Deer and West Deer. Now they are combined as Deer Lakes.
Right.
And it was a B school, small school. I only had 77 in my
Graduating class.
graduating class.
Wow.
So
Well, did you like school?
I liked recess,
Okay.
probably the best. And
I understand that logic. I know plenty of Pittsburgh guys, so you're right in there.
I started playing a trumpet. I think maybe in 6th or 7th grade.
Okay.
And I learned to play the trumpet. And then
Did you like it?
It was okay, but it wasn't in vogue. And then
And what year was this then? When
that
you were
would have
about-
been 60, 61, 62,
Okay,
63,
yeah,
something
so-
like that.
Okay.
And then somebody came to me and wanted me to be in the band, a combo. It was
Okay.
before bands. It was
Okay.
they were called-
Pre-bands.
Yeah, they were called combos, and we played polkas and all that stuff. But nobody wanted the trumpet, and I lied. I said I played drums.
No.
So I had
Fake it till you make
I
it.
had stolen some sticks from the high school, and
Got a kit?
no kit. I had bongo drums that I borrowed from people, and I created this
This is hilarious.
quasi set. And they said, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I said, "This is the latest thing. You don't even know. Let's go." And we played polkas and all that stuff.
And you sounded great.
Then the Beatles came out, and my life changed. I go, "Ooh, we are in the wrong direction."
I saw that on Ed Sullivan.
Yes.
Stayed up on my black and white TV with
Yes.
my 3 sisters, mom and dad. We were mesmerized by the Beatles.
Yeah, and that was life-changing to me, and I knew we were on the wrong track. We switched immediately and got rid of the accordion out of the band, and
Whoa.
the electric guitar was in.
Nice. What a blessing. We all believe in God, and
Yeah.
that was your path. It
Yeah,
changed.
that was the meager beginnings.
So high school wasn't at the top of your list of things.
No, I went off to college one year at Youngstown, and then I transferred to. I was an art student actually.
Wow.
As well, and I was able to get some kind of entrance into Carnegie Tech, which is Carnegie Mellon.
Pre-Carnegie Mellon,
And,
yeah.
I did.
But you were playing in the band all the time.
I did a half a year there, and I smelled something. I smelled the music business.
Wow.
And I told my parents I'm hanging up to college and going after the music and
What did your dad and mom say?
my dad said, "Are you crazy? That's not a career.
What did he do for a living?
That's a hobby."
Yeah, what did he do for?
My dad was a mill worker.
I had a blue collar
Yeah,
dad
unless
too.
you
Yeah.
didn't work at PPG Glass Company, you weren't going to be. Blah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Do you have any sisters or brothers?
I had a brother that died before I was born.
I'm
of
sorry to hear
pneumonia.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would have been a couple years older than I.
Okay.
And
So you're basically an only child.
Yeah.
You're the apple of both their eyes, and you're going against what they believe.
exactly. But they were able to live long enough to see
your-
my
Your success.
success. Purchasing the Stanley Theater, which is now the
We're
Benedum.
you can tease them with that. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes. We got to still cover how he got there, but No, that's so great when you bring up the Stanley Theater. I have such great memories because I'm a Pittsburgh guy, born in the Hill District back in '56.
Wow, yeah.
And grew up in Greentree, so I was 3 miles away from Pittsburgh and everything. So, yeah, it's a small world. Yeah. So I saw all the greatest theaters, Gimbel's, Horns, Kaufman's, the Kaufman's Clock.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So we can cover that.
Awesome.
This gentleman has too many stories for 29 minutes. So we're going to get all highlights, and his highlights are all legendary. So, and I'm honored and blessed to be able to do this. So now you're into music, and you're going to college.
Yes.
What was going through your mind then, business-wise, and even personally? You can talk a little bit about that.
Well, my band started to get a little bit popular.
What was the name?
The Grains of Sand.
Wow.
And we were able to open for the Yardbirds down at
the Yardbirds.
Hunt Armory with Jimmy Page. We were able to get on with the Beach Boys at the Penn Theater, which is now Heinz Hall.
I remember that.
And we really thought we were
You're big time.
Really going. And so my band started really playing a lot. So
and you're getting paid a little bit here and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm getting now calls from XYZ band, their band, your band. They say, "Can you book us?" I go, "Yeah, I can book you," because I had so many gigs. I only can play one place on Saturday night.
Right, you can't be in two places.
Had 5 opportunities. So you're playing here, and now you're paying me $20, $30 commissions on. Back then, if you were making $200,
you get a 10%.
Pretty good. Yeah, I was getting 10%. So next thing I know, I have 35 attractions under my wings.
You're in business.
Everybody from the James Gang in
keep dropping
Youngstown,
names.
Cleveland, Glass Harp, Freeport. All these bands were pretty famous.
And where were you booking all these bands? In Pittsburgh and the outlying areas?
Everywhere, from fraternity parties to church dances to
fire
halls, everything.
Any opportunity.
Any opportunity.
Did you go to Elks clubs or anything like that?
All of those, yeah, and all those veterans, vets,
VFWs.
Anybody that wanted bands, I had.
American Legion.
And I had corny bands too. They didn't have to be rock bands.
Oh.
Yeah. Joe Krzyzewski came in one day, 3-piece. He goes, "Hey, can you book me?" I said, "What's the name of your band?" He goes, "The Shoe." I said, "The Shoe."
Yeah.
I said, "I don't know if I like that name." He goes,
Right.
"Well, there was The Who, and now this is The Shoe."
I love The Who, by the way.
Right.
Love The Who.
So I go, "Yeah, well, you're a 3-piece band. I'm going to be able to get you work." So Joe was one of my early ones.
I got to ask, because you mentioned accordions you got rid of. Did you book any accordion bands with polkas?
Not many after that, but yeah, there were some.
I figured you had an open mind. I was just testing you.
Oh yeah,
you passed the test.
Listen, if the way my theory would go as years went on, if a guy could juggle dimes and I could put him on stage and make money, he's on there.
I salute you. I love that style.
Yeah, I can't. I have to work with my brain and not my heart. I did book many bands that I liked personally.
Yes.
But I also.
What was your style with music that you actually liked before we get too deep into this?
Well.
What did you go to? Like, I'm a Rush guy and a Who band. I like them top.
And Yes was groundbreaking. David Bowie was groundbreaking. I brought David Bowie in Pittsburgh for the first time ever. Spider from Mars. Spiders from Mars down at the Stanley, at King Crimson. I mean, these things were epic. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Wow. I had all of those, and those are the kind of bands that I like. And then I also like James Taylor and Linda Ronstadt.
So you can mix it up.
Yeah.
Here's what I say with me about music, because I'm a lay person. I'm like a garbage man with music. Whatever I hear and I pick up, that's what I like.
There you go.
I mean, I hear so many different things. Like even today, some different bands. Like my kids are 37 and 33. I hear Three Doors Down.
Yeah.
I go, I like that band.
Yeah.
And then some of the other ones, I can't even mention all the names. They make up stuff. But the music that I'll lump myself in with you, you're a little bit ahead of me. It was such cutting edge and new. It was tremendous.
Whenever our music, I called it my music because I was all about the 60s.
Yeah, you were in it.
And the early 70s. We wrote the rules. I, as a promoter.
Here, you set the standard.
Yeah. And from booking the bands, I need to clear this. From booking all those bands, I liked it and it was good, and I was making a decent living on it.
Right.
But I wanted to promote, so I had an opportunity. I sent a mailer out to all these colleges and universities, and I get a call from St. Bonaventure University. They want Johnny Winter. I go, I got Johnny Winter.
The Winter Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of me making 200, I was making 1,000 off of that show, booking Johnny Winter for the college, or $2,000, depending.
So it kept multiplying.
It kept multiplying, and I go, I'm now a promoter, and that's what I. That's
and what'd you call your business then?
Well, at that time, it was.
I'm
called,
going back.
At that time, it was called Go Attractions.
Okay.
Go Attractions, but I have a thrilling story to tell how I ended not playing drums anymore.
Okay.
So I book Yes in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
On their big tour, Roundabout, and all those big songs are out, and my band is the opening act on the show, and I'm the promoter as well. So I get a knock. I'm on stage playing, and I see Yes coming in the side door, and this guy with a big Tanuki coat on walking in, and he stops and talks to the security guy, and he asks the security guy, "Where's the promoter, Rich Engler?" And the guy goes like this and points at me over on stage, and I see the guy, he like gave a snare and ran into the dressing room. So I told the band, hey, last song, so we're playing, and we finish. I take a towel and dry my face off, go over and pound on the door. He opens the door, he goes, "Who are you?" I go, "I'm Rich Engler." "Weren't you the drummer in that band?" I go, "Yes." "Are you the promoter?" I go, "Yes, I'm both." He goes, "Listen, my friend, this is the largest band in the world right now, and we want your attention. Either you are on stage or behind stage." And I go, "I'm going to be behind stage the rest of my life," and I quit the band.
I like how quick you are.
I quit the band the next day and never played again till many years later. Just a few years ago, I put a little band together for some fun.
Yeah.
And
do you play every once in a while yourself, or not as much?
But it's like riding a bike.
You are a classic. This is a true legend on our Talking Machine show. It'll be on BPTV, and it'll be on YouTube forever. And we'll see it out there. I can't wait to get it out there. But I got to interrupt you with a story we talked pre-show. I worked in downtown Pittsburgh, I talked about at 15 years old at Ralph's Discount.
Sure.
We went in a couple stories because I'm trying to segue in. You could buy appliances, tampons, cigarettes, and you name it. And the National Record Mart was there.
That's
Everybody in Pittsburgh went there. I met every type of person in Pittsburgh at 15.
Oh, yeah. I including myself.
Yeah, I'll bet.
There.
Yeah. And I'm sure. And the National Record Mart, I knew the owners, and they'd go, "Watch out, a lot of people are stealing our records." So I'm a stock boy. And I'd see different albums hidden in a little spot here and there, and I'd grab them and I'd bring it back, and they go, "Alan, thank you so much." So a couple people were trying to check out and then grab the albums.
I see. Oh, yeah.
So I was the security.
Right. Yeah. The Superiors, they were great operators, great people.
Such nice people.
Yeah. I worked with them for a long time. They sold our tickets, and
tell us that story.
Terrific. So. National Record Mart was selling our tickets in the early 70s, and then I get an idea that because there wasn't Ticketmaster was just starting up, and that was hard tickets as well. Hard tickets is when you actually
they're all the paper.
Yeah, real tickets, and
they were hard. They were thicker.
That's exactly. So,
even if they were only $2 or $3.
So I say to myself, I'm going to start our own ticket company. So I started
What an idea.
Ticket Service Inc. I called the National Record Mart. I said, from now on, the tickets are going to come to me. I'm going to bring them to you, and you're going to distribute them along with
and you worked out a deal
Heads
there.
Together and King Larry's and all
Heads
those
Together.
places.
Yeah.
And they sold the tickets. So one of the big shows in the I think 1980.
Yeah.
Was Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA at Three Rivers Stadium. I had all 65,000 tickets on my desk.
Like my desk.
I went to Federal Express and waited for the package to come in because we wanted to get on sale. And I brought them to my office. I went through all I didn't count them all.
Yeah.
They were in stacks.
Sure.
Made sure they were
like
all
$100 bills.
And well, I wish back then tickets were only $4 or $5.
That's why I said 2 or 3. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, the ticket prices and now the business has gone absolutely berserk and crazy with all these service charges and dynamic ticketing and all this. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
For you, seeing the changes, I know we all get older and we go, some changes might be good, but how is this good?
All bad. All bad. The acts, the acts don't make any money anymore on records.
I heard that.
The only way they can make money is on
live
performances and a little bit of streaming, but live performances. And then these other two big conglomerates out there are paying whatever you want because it's not their money. They're faceless companies.
No, the corporations hide behind that.
And it's all corporate money for stockholder money, and they're just throwing money out there. When Rich Engler comes around, I'm not getting the show because they bought the whole tour.
Right. Any
millions
monopoly,
and millions of dollars.
Monopolies rule.
Yeah,
and that's sad.
It's disgusting, but hey, it is what it is.
No doubt. But I wanted to get that in there. How creative is this man to go and have become a ticket outlet when they didn't even have them? They were just starting it.
Ticket company.
That is great that you did that. Yeah. Now, you're doing this stuff and you're getting these gigs and you got, the biggest band in the world at the time. What happened next?
Well, then I started doing all these other shows, brought Bowie in at the Stanley, brought King Crimson in, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And then while I'm doing that on Mondays and Tuesday nights while the Stanley was idle because they ran movies.
I went to movies there at the Stanley.
My big competitor, Pat DeCesar, calls me up one day and says, hey, let's have a meeting. Why don't we become partners?
He called up for that.
Yeah. So I went out and I visited with him, and we made a deal. DeCesar Engler was born, and he said he didn't particularly like the music business and wanted to do the real estate part. It would parlay money that we made in the music business into real estate.
Kidding.
And he would handle that.
What another opportunity.
And I handled all the music, so there was no cut.
No
crossover. It was perfect.
It was just straight up business.
Yeah, so we were partners for 25 years.
Yeah.
And then after the first year or so where we were partners, I said, Pat, every time I would go down to the Stanley, they tell him, the manager would go, Rich, why don't you buy this building?
Yeah.
So why don't we buy the building?
Yeah.
I said, why don't you go? I'll set you up with them and see what you can
What a connection.
work out. So he came back and goes, hey, I think we can make this deal. So we went to the SBA and got a
loan.
A big, gigantic loan.
Well, anything helping the city, you're going to get stuff
like that. I had to put my cars, my house, everything.
You risked it all.
All. And for
what a ballsy move.
It really was. But, it was also the Novocaine of youth was still
well, we're invincible.
Still with me.
Right.
And I knew we could do it because I had a great knack for talent.
Yeah.
And not only that, new talent and bands that had hits, I was bringing in Liza Minnelli, Perry Como.
No way.
All those.
Any Tony Bennett in there?
Tony Bennett shows. Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. I had.
We don't have enough time for his 18 million stories, but these are great. Carry on, Rich.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing this for all my fans.
So we bought the Stanley Theater. It became the #1 theater in the whole United States. We got all these awards for 3 years in a row, and then I think they stopped giving the awards.
Yeah.
And then
you took them all.
I had an idea to build the Icy Light Amphitheater, so we built the Icy Light Amphitheater down at Station Square, which we had for about 15 years. Had everybody, Bob Dylan.
That was great.
Everybody, Ringo down there, Ringo's All Stars, and It was.
I remember.
It was big. George Benson, everything. So,
right. Boy, you're covering all the music I like and more.
And I built an amphitheater in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, called the Harvey's Lake Amphitheater.
Wow.
All good stuff.
That is great. No, just what you did in Pittsburgh, let alone, all over.
Over 6,000 concerts now.
Over 6,000
concerts.
That is amazing.
And counting 50, I think this is my 52nd year.
Well,
something like that.
You've never been this old before, like I tell people. We're aging as we speak, so we're making it through it.
Exactly.
But no, you look great. And do you work out or anything? Or?
Yeah, we do a lot of walking. I do a little lifting, as you can tell.
You're bulked up. You're bulked up. Well, I played baseball and football, so I did a little more intensive stuff.
Well, I was a little bit kidding on the
no, I know.
I do lift a little bit for.
Well, as you get older, they recommend you lift some weights.
I do walk about 10 to 12,000 steps a day.
Well, since we're talking about it, you climbed a mountain.
Tell
me this story. How am I doing at segueing here?
20,000 feet, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
I salute you. I salute you.
Tanzania, Africa. It was one of my goals. I wanted to do that before I was 50, and my wife and I did it. And
tell us your wife's name.
Cindy.
Okay, don't forget about her. Yeah. She supported him through all these days, and I've read a couple clips about it. And I've seen you around with different friends and people of mine.
Yeah,
so.
She's my life. She was with me from the very beginning. We didn't even have a car.
How did you meet her? Tell me that.
Well, I met her on March 10th, which was just recently.
Happy anniversary of meeting.
55 years ago.
Wow.
And we went out and we started living together.
You just hit it off.
We hit it off, and I started making money like I talked about, and I was able to finally buy a car. And
you didn't have a car at first.
No, I had a van, which
for the bands.
Band,
yeah,
and that was it. And never.
It's hard to go on a date like that with all the equipment.
Right. And so I was able to buy a car. And then
what was your first car then?
Well, I hate to say it, but it was a Bentley.
Wow.
I made money quickly, remember. I went from like this, none, to this like right away.
Yeah, but what a blessing.
Yeah, and it wasn't a new Bentley. It was a yellow Bentley, 1952, because I was still like something the Beatles would own.
Yeah.
And what was great about the Bentley, and I bought a Rolls after that.
Okay.
I was able to trade the Bentley in for this Rolls. And then the Rolls became a limo for the bands.
No.
And then you know how impressive that would be. They're in the United States, and the Rolls pulls up and picks them up at the airport.
Yeah.
And takes them. Yeah.
That's off the charts.
A lot of great stories about that as well. So
I love how this all started with one thing: no more trumpets and the Beatles.
Right. Exactly.
No, this is such an amazing story. That's why I wanted to get out. I want to read your book.
Yeah.
So let me see this book.
Yeah, there we go. And I signed it for you.
Did you autograph it?
Oh yeah, Alan, the man with the voice. Either speak up or shut up.
Whoa, I'm honored. Let me have that. Let me have that book. Look at this book. And I got to show you I got to look at this. What he wrote in here. I'm honored. Whoa, he did write it. Look at this. It's all my Talking Machine fans and new fans. This man's a great man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and the funny thing about the book, I wrote that book about 11 years ago.
Okay.
Sold thousands and thousands of copies. Big seller. And if they go to my website, richengler.com.
Repeat it again, because I'm old.
richengler.com, RICHENGLER.com.
Go there now.
You can check it out, the book. And then I get a call one day.
Okay, we
out
got
of
the book.
Blue, in 2019, right around the pandemic.
Yeah.
I goes, hello, is this Rich Engler? I go, yes, it is. He goes, this is, I'm a producer. And I said, oh, you want to buy another book? He goes, no. I read your book. I love it. I want to make it into a movie.
Wow.
And I said, are you kidding? You sure you have the right number? And he goes, yeah. And he said, I want to start filming right away. So he goes, I got the money already. I got the investors. You don't have to do anything. You and your wife are the talent, and see who you can get in it. So Rush is in it. Styx is in it.
Yeah.
Foreigner's in it. Kiss is in it.
Read it off. Read the list.
Oh man, it's a lot. Plus, it's run a ton of awards. It won the LA Film Festival Award.
Congrats.
And several others. And if the producer wins about 5 or 6 more awards, he's going to get a Golden Globe Award.
Congrats.
So there you go.
Wow, I like show and tell. Look at this.
And so if you go to my website as well, you'll be able to see the link, and you can watch the movie on Amazon, Apple TV Plus.
Hey, I'm going to go
iTunes.
do it. I got Amazon Prime. I'm going there tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
just
watching this
type
movie.
in Behind, and it'll pop right up.
Get on. This is great.
Called Behind the Stage Door, same as the book.
No,
So,
thank you so much for that. And I wanted to, a friend of mine, and he introduced me to you, Ray Reamer.
Oh yeah,
And,
Ray, yeah, he's pretty cool.
He did some shows with you, he said.
Oh yeah.
And over the years.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting a little older and has some health issues, and you even asked him if he could do a show or help him with stuff.
Yes, exactly.
And,
I wanted him to do some audio and
because
lighting.
he was great when he starts talking about the bands. He did 30 or more different bands over the years. Was asked by some of the best.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad.
He got some skills,
but he turned me on to a couple other guys. It's gonna.
He knows
work
people.
out. Yeah,
and they're good people
he's good,
too.
Yeah.
When you have some good guys there, you need that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that is great. What a career.
And so, if anybody, I have a couple shows coming up. I have the Change in Latitude up at in North Park at the Cadence Clubhouse.
I know there. I've been there.
Okay, that's on March 29th. That's a Saturday night. And
it's a great venue outside there.
3 guys from the Clarks coming a few days before that. I think that's the 26th or 27th.
Well, we'll get them to look for these.
Yeah.
Look for a Cadence Clubhouse. I'm sure they'll have it up there, and there'll be some promotions out there. I'm friends with them there. I've been there for a few different events.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. And then they built an amphitheater, a small amphitheater, that I had Michael Fronte and Spearhead last year.
I didn't know that.
There. So he's going to have some shows there this summer.
So that is great.
It'll be good.
That is great. Then you're traveling to Florida. We got to talk about that.
I'm leaving for the Caribbean, and I'm doing a big show down there with an act from Italy.
Wow.
And then I go straight from there to Tampa and drive down to Anna Maria Island, where I have the Moody Blues with John Lodge and his crew.
Wow, that's great. Anna Maria Island had some damage and all that too, so
Not
I guess
too
it's
bad.
back.
Not too bad.
Because I know people that vacation there and love it down there.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, you're a rambling, traveling man here. You don't stop. Hey, we got less than 2 minutes. Now, you can't be Rich Angler, but what advice would you give to people that want to start out in the business that's changed since you got in? Do you have any advice?
Well,
or a couple tips?
This is any business, but you have to have the burning desire in your heart to succeed. And your brain is the only thing that's going to keep you from moving forward. You got to get over that. You got to turn your skis on a black diamond slope and go for it. And if you have the trust in your heart and the burning desire to succeed, and those are deep words, because these kids these days think something's going to fall out of the sky on their head. Not going to happen. It's going to be a lot of hard work and a direct result of what you put into it.
Rich, thank you for the inspiration. And here's what I gathered out of it. When an opportunity comes up, you decide to do it now. Don't procrastinate. Weigh it all out, add up all the good pluses and minuses, and do it. And then don't be afraid.
I always
don't
say,
stop yourself.
I said, even if you're sweeping the floor, you could own your own janitorial business sooner or later. If you're picking up garbage, you could own your own sanitation company. Just keep it moving up.
That's the last word from Rich Angler. Thanks for being a great guest.
And keep on rocking.